Raise your consciousness in order to supersize and grow your business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and our idiom, our expression today, to coincide with this year's Get Your Goals annual challenge, is consciousness. We're talking about the super conscious today, the super C, I call it. It's a fun little diagram I draw to explain our subconscious, our conscious, and our super conscious. And I shared in that group today 5+ different ways to tap into the superconscious in order to get answers to problems and challenges and things that we may be struggling with or we just want answers to because we're curious about, by tapping into something outside of ourself, right? Outside of our physical control. Well, what the heck does raise consciousness mean? It means to increase our awareness or our understanding of our own needs and of the needs of the needs of other people, right? Well, it's imperative that we understand our own needs as we're building and growing and supersizing our business, right? As well as the needs of the people that we're here to serve and add value to. Consciousness raising or awareness, we do that through training, personal development, networking, learning, partnering with other people, all different ways. Tapping into the super conscious, having masterminds, joining coaching programs, being involved in courses, etc. This term, consciousness raising, was coined by, I think, Kathy Sarachild, who got it from Ann Forer, who used it to describe the fact that workers don't actually know that they're oppressed. They're oppressed, but they don't know they're oppressed, and that whole discussion. But wherever it came from, which the origin isn't exactly clearly defined when we research on the internet, it means that there's something outside of us, and as we grow, and we've talked about this a lot, our business will only grow and supersize as much as we allow or will let it, and we'll only let it as much as we grow and are developed as a person, or if we're growing and developing enough to step out of the way and let others lead the reins in certain areas and aspects of our business. That was a tough lesson for me to learn, but I had to learn it in several of my businesses throughout my career, or even my corporate career. I realized that in some situations, I was the biggest problem, the biggest bottleneck to what needed to happen next. And when I, tucked my ego in my pocket and stepped aside, things went back to flowing and growing like I wanted them to grow. So we have to be willing to set aside our egos sometimes and say, okay, maybe I need to grow or learn something, or maybe I just need to get out of the way and let somebody who's an expert in this area handle that thing. And when we're building and growing and supersizing our businesses and first starting out, sometimes it's hard to do that. We want to control everything. So love to know your personal experience with this particular idiom or thoughts on raising your consciousness. How do you go about doing it? There was a 4-step process I found when I was researching. I'm not going to go into it, but I'll just share the 4 steps according to this model. Awaken, become aware that we need to improve or raise our consciousness or think differently or think in ways that we haven't thought before in order to move through and progress and expand and grow our life and our business. We want to live mindfully. We want to be mindful, meaning able to self-assess and realize, what do we need? What do we need to learn? What do we need to find out? What resources do we need, etc. Set an intention to always be growing and improving and learning and being more consciously aware. And then act consciously, right? Lead by example by making choices that are the level of consciousness you want to be growing and expanding into. And again, we talked about different levels of consciousness in the challenge as well. All right, that's it. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, have a fantastic day, and I'll be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from, if I can find where it comes from? And how can we maybe use it and apply it to growing and building and supersizing our business, whatever type business you happen to be in. All right, have a great day. I'll be with you tomorrow.